had no clue. And I think that had I gone into it knowing that, I mean, Marvel is so secretive.
Yeah.
For so long, I didn't know I was auditioning for a Marvel project. And then I didn't know that I was auditioning to play Misty Knight. It was just, this is a detective. So when I found out all of those things at the same time, no one said, oh, and BT Dubs, she was the first, you know? So I don't think my brain could have handled all of that all at once. But it was one of those things that I was just so thankful to be a part of and to breathe life into. And I mean, you know, it was a first. How many people get to say that they were the first to do a lot of things, you know? So I'm just super, super thankful for it.
And there were so many incredible Black women on that show, like you and Alfred Woodard and Karen Pittman, and y'all had these
Kathy
scenes together.
Freeman and
Yes.
come on, Deborah, little baby Deborah. Come on now, we have. I mean, it was just a freaking bevy of beautiful, beautiful Black women. Gabrielle Dennis in the second season. I
Hmm.
mean, it was amazing. It was amazing for Cheo as the writer, for Aida in the writer's room, and all of our writers. They really wanted to see strong Black female representation on screen. And it it's one of those things where I think a lot of times when you're dealing with creatives and storytellers that are not of a particular community and of a culture, it can be approached in a different kind of way. It's an outside in. It's like oh, we have to fill this quota, or we have to, we have this directive or this mandate, and let's go ahead. But with Luke Cage, it was like, this is the world. These are the people in it, and they can just be people. They can be strong, they can be weak, they can be gullible, they can be fragile, they can be vulnerable, they can be evil, they can be murderers. It was a lot of delicious landscape for the women to navigate that wasn't just given to the superhero lead of the show.
I also need to know whether or not you knew that you would be setting the Black woman superhero hairstyle standard. Because the moment I saw Tiana Paris and her twist out,
I was like, yes, sister. This is the thing though. Tiana has been, a natural hair icon, standing in the gap for all Black women for quite some time. And I hope that in some way, what we did made Marvel say, oh, okay, that can happen. That's possible. That's believable.
Everybody said it. Javicia Leslie on Batwoman had it. Everybody. I said, this is the Black woman
as the Black girl
out superhero hairstyle. I've said it before. I said, look, Misty walks so the rest of y'all could run.
The rest of y'all could fly. It's so wonderful how that happened. It's so hair is a big thing for Black women. And so why wouldn't it be a situation for Black women superheroes to have to navigate their way around? And I remember that was the first audition that I went to with my natural twist out. I had been growing my hair natural and, putting wigs on top of it for years in auditions. And it was just something about this woman on the page that I was like, I'm just gonna wear my natural hair. And for that that one decision to just be myself, to walk in the room as Simone, for that to then have that kind of effect on what we see on screen for the next, where are we at? We're 7 years since I filmed it, and now, 6 years since it premiered. Like, that's amazing. That something that you just did in order to be comfortable within who you were then gives other people the opportunity to do the same.
And it's so iconic that I did a convention where I wasn't even thinking about it. I just had a leather jacket, jeans, shirt, and my twist out. Someone was like, oh, you're cosplaying as Misty Knight. I was like, or I'm just a Black woman on Tuesday, but thank you.
And that shows that all Black women are superheroes.
There you go.
There you go.
Now, what was it like season 2 working with your husband, Dorian? A
He's
and he's a bad guy, he's
right.
cockroach.
It was fun. It was so much fun. We've gotten the chance to work together before that and since then. Every time it's great. And this was the first time that we were, you know, I think in real adversarial positions.
Mhm.
It's interesting. Dorian was originally, a favorite to join season one cast. Um, and because he went off and got another job, he was not able to be a part of it. And I was. And this was at a time when, casting people and producers and executives were not interested in hiring husbands and wives. So we always kind of joke that if he had gotten the job, I would not have been Misty Knight. But God is like, yeah, right. Y'all don't know what you're talking about. Um, but so that felt like a gift, to be able to then have him in the second season. He got on my nerves when he needed to, and he was great to ride home with and not have to explain what the day was like because he was there. I mean, we have a lot of fun. And so, especially, I remember when he was in the hospital bed after that ass whooping that Luke Cage, put on Cockroach, and his face looks like Martin in that episode when he was beat up by Tommy Hearns.
Mhm.
And I mean, I was just like, what happened to you? Like, I came in with a green sleeve on my arm, and he's got all kinds of prosthetics on his face. And, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. That show was just so much fun from top to bottom. And yeah, to be able to have that memory, for our family, it's great.
Now, pulling out a little bit from that, when you went to see other MCU work, like, I don't know, Endgame, when they just kinda snap people out of existence and stuff, were you shocked? Were
Here we
you
go.
exactly.
I mean, I love the MCU films. I do. And so to me, I'm always still a fan. I'm always still watching it as a fan. And I'm not thinking about Misty or Luke Cage or that world. I'm just like enjoying, all of these actors as these characters on screen. And that snap was the snap her around the room.
Yes, it was.
That's in the circle, honey. He should have did that. I mean, it was everybody was like, wait, what? What just happened? It was amazing.
Um, Now you've also clearly had such an amazing career before then and since then, and you've worked on other primetime shows. You've mentioned, I know, Ray Donovan, and of course some of the other Netflix Marvel properties. But then when Altered Carbon season 2 popped up with Anthony Mackie, and we saw your face, we're like, "Yo, she's back!"
Yeah.
So, what was your role as Trep like in Altered Carbon, and did your fight training as Misty help you in them fights as Trump?
What's so funny? I got that job shortly after we had gotten canceled. And I was excited. I was like, this is going to be, great. I'm going to be able to take that fight training and go in there, whoop it. They're like, she's a bounty hunter. She's a badass. She's this, she's that. And I did not have but none fight. I think that fight training taught me how to fall because I don't think I had.
You had a lot of weapons work.
I had a lot of weapons. And that was the great thing about Trep. First of all, she is to me polar opposite of Misty. Misty Knight is all about justice and standing for the good of the community and protecting her people and taking out the bad guys. And Trep is like, give me my money. Like, I need my coin. You good, you bad. I don't give a shit. I'm gonna come and get you as long as I get my money. And Misty is fighting. She's not trying to hurt anybody. Trep is killing people. Like, she was not about throwing up the dukes. She was about pulling out her gun. And I enjoyed that. It was a lot of fun. Again, working with Anthony, longtime friend of ours. And him being a producer on that project, I know had an influence in me being able to be a part of it. So I'm always thankful for the opportunity to come and be a part of a project with cool people. But, another great opportunity with Renee Elise Goldsberry.
Yes.
Hell, and it was just William Lee, and it was so much fun. It was a great transition from Luke Cage after that, that heartbreak. of the show not coming back,
Mm-hmm.
to be able to step into another strong female character and that world and their fans already being established, and Netflix has always been so supportive. So it was Trep was certainly the biggest departure from Simone that I've ever played.
Now, did you all know then, back then, that Mackie was going to be Captain America?
I I I don't know. I
Like he
actually
didn't
don't
he didn't
know.
walk around the set like you know him be Captain America, right? Like he didn't just
No, no. He walks around every set being like, I'm Anthony Mackie, right? Like I feel like
Yes.
that's more anything.
Cut the check.
Right, cut the check. Jesus. No, I don't think that we knew, but at that time I had seen the mock-ups. Everyone tagged me in the Misty Knight Captain America comic
Yes.
where it's, him as Captain America. And so I knew that it was coming. It's hard not to. And damn straight. I'm glad it did. I'm glad he is. Because now there are a bunch of little kids out there who are like, I can be Black Panther, I can be Luke Cage, I can be Captain America, I can be Miles Morales, like I can be it all. And thankfully for the women's side, we're also pulling it in where there are a bunch of iconic Black women superheroes that little girls can aspire to be. Or
Yeah.
children. We're not gonna lock them into gender. Children.
There you go. There you go. Now, in addition to all your acting work, you're also a producer. I remember a few years ago you served as executive producer on Gin, but you
Yeah.
also starred in that. So how hard was that doing what Anthony Mackie just did, executive
Right.
produce, and you're in it, and you have to oversee all
So
kinds of things?
so with Jen, it was a very easy, producerial position. The ladies over there, Nigel Lumen, who was the director and writer of the film, they asked me to be a producer on that, and that was really just me getting my feet wet, and looking at producing as a collaborative effort. For me, casting is always super important when you're doing a project, especially a film, and so this was a great way to offer whatever help I could to help locate locations or help find actors. And the lead of that film, Zoe Renee, she at one point there was a little bit of confusion as to whether or not she was interested in being a part of the project. It was like a weird miscommunication, and so I put on the producer hat, and I was like, got on the phone. Her people happened to be my people. I was like, we have to work this out. And she got to be a part of the film because she was the choice of Nigella. And, that was my role in producing on that film. Right now, I am executive producing on All Rise, and that is a completely different animal. That's not just like, let me just throw in an opinion here and there. Like it's constant emails, it's constant meetings. The level of there is no turning off. There is no, oh, I'm not gonna look at that. It's 24/7 on top of learning pages and pages of scene work every day. And this is where I'm earning my keep. Like this is, but it's amazing. And I'm so happy to be able to do it on this show in particular with OWN as our new network and our new partners. It feels so right. And right on time for me. Third season of the show, I feel like I know who this character is. I know where I want her to go. Now I actually have a voice to offer that, as well as everything from, I mean, I meet about everything: casting, lights, props, sound, music. This season, which I am super excited about, we have Adrian Young from who worked on season 1 of Luke Cage as our musical director. It was that connection that I had with him from Luke Cage that made him, I think, even interested in, working on this show. And once the other producers found out I had a relationship with him, like that made us really want to try to work it out. And we did. And so, it's a great position to be at in my life, to be able to work with cool people making cool shit.
No, it absolutely is. And